Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is having themselves a great day, whatever day it is for you. Today, I want to talk about a concept that is very difficult for a lot of people in my various communities to kind of get a handle on, and also very difficult for a lot of other people that I've encountered throughout my life. And today's topic is going to be prioritizing your mental health, right? Mental health matters. Mental health really matters, right? When you consider just the implications, a lot of times people decide to be silent because they don't want to be a burden on other people. They blindly walk around throughout their life acting as if the depreciation of their performance, their edge, like if you've ever known someone that's dealing with depression, they usually have a little bit of irritability and they got a constant edge to them. They always have that dead look in their eyes. And it is a very hard topic to breach, because as the person looking at your friend or your family, your colleague, your whatever, right? It feels like something you shouldn't bring up, because if I say it, it's taboo and it'll upset them. However, if I don't say it, then I'm ignoring my friend's suffering, which is also pretty trashy, right? So the focus on this particular video is going to be you and your mental health, right? Prioritizing your mental health. Not so much others at this time, right? The key point that I want to make in this before I start is a lesson that I was taught many years ago, like almost 2 decades ago now. Starting to feel old. When I first became a lifeguard, right? And the lesson that was highly stressed was that you can't save another person if you end up needing rescued as well. Right? And their focus was, don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to need saving too. Now, the next person that comes along will have to save 2 people, not just one, right? So, in this topic, mental health manifests in a lot of different ways, right? I've seen people who become super studs, just trying to run away from their problems. And this leads to burnout oftentimes because they can't stop. Right? They can't slow down. They can't have an off day, because as soon as they do, they're thinking about it. Those things that they've been trying to avoid, that they've been staying super busy to keep away from, start manifesting in their face, and they start going crazy trying to get away from it. Right? I myself suffered from this challenge, right? Having the childhood that I did led me to wanting to avoid any sort of idle hands. Because anytime I had enough time to sit down and really start decompressing, those topics came up, and thinking about how people treated me and the things that had happened and how I was used or exploited or this or that, those things all kind of popped into mind. And it was immediately like, avoid, right? And then be busy. And I'd focus on being so busy that I would have absolutely no time whatsoever to think about that topic again. And this manifested in a way that on the surface seemed super awesome, right? I was able to get a lot more education knocked out. I was able to always be accomplishing something that people from the outside looking in, took as like, oh yeah, he's prideful, boastful, In reality, what they didn't understand is I felt dead inside, right? When I finished my first master's degree, now bear in mind, this was something that I never thought I would be able to go to college to begin with. And then when I finished my associate's degree while I was still in active duty in the military, I thought that I would be like really excited and proud and happy, but it felt empty. It was like, oh, it's just an associate's degree. Who cares? And then when I finished my bachelor's degree, it was, oh, that's just a bachelor's degree. Who cares? Right? Like most people have a bachelor's degree. No one gives a crap about that. So I was like, And then I started doing my master's degree. Then I finished my master's degree. And then it was, oh, well, you didn't finish with a 4.0 GPA, so who really cares about that? right? Bear in mind, I had a 3.87 or 8.9, something like that. Like I had a really high GPA, but it was just, who cares? Again. Then I did my second master's degree, got a 4.0, and who cares? It's just this. And the cycle continues, right? You end up devaluing everything you do and always focusing on the next topic and how I can do better, be more, be better, all that, right? Your mental health is highly important. Being able to sleep at night is important. If you're stressing out and not paying attention to those things, then that's a really hard reality, and that's a bitter pill for people to swallow. And at the time, I thought I was playing tough guy, right? Because everyone around me would always comment on my successes, and I thought that I was keeping my internal struggle silent, right? The reality was there was a situation with one particular relationship that I was in at the time, a romantic relationship where the person broke up with me. Now, they utilized an opportunity. They were a former PSYOPer in the military, so they had a little bit of aptitude or capacity, you should say, for trying to be manipulative and try to turn things back around on somebody, psychologically speaking. And at the time, I'd been having a little bit of neurological complication because I suffered a traumatic brain injury while I was in active duty. I have 4 metal plates and 29 screws in the side of my head. And one of the things that she had brought up to me was that I'm always negative. I'm never satisfied, and insert many other things, right? And I paused, right? Because at the moment, in the onset of this information, I took everything to be canon, right? It was all true, all factual. It's all my fault. I didn't have the cognitive wherewithal at the moment because of the complications with the TBI to actually sit there and argue. I found out later that she was just lying to me to cover up her infidelity and happening to find somebody who would give her financially more than what I was going to give her. I expected her to work for what she had. And lo and behold, right, I could have tossed out the guidance that she had because it didn't fit my narrative, it didn't fit my view of myself, and it seemed so calloused when I found out why she told me those things, right? And in reality, I sat down and I asked myself, how valid are the points that she made? And I realized I am really negative towards myself. Even now, like I've gotten much better over the years, right? Because I've strategically prioritized these things. But back then especially, I celebrated none of my accomplishments. Nothing was really successful. I could write it out on paper. I could put down all my accolades and everything else in writing. I could discuss them. And I knew logically that the things I was doing were amazing. But inside, I felt that they were insignificant. And that was an interesting gestalt moment for me, right? So I started seeing a couple of different mental health providers, counselors, therapists, right? I don't really believe in drugging yourself to hide the problem, right? I believe in trying to suss out the source of the problem. And through the process, I utilized something called CPT that helped me to kind of unpackage some of the awful things that happened to me as a child to make me really come to terms with, even though those things did happen and those people were monsters, those people are insignificant to me now. And those lessons helped me become the person I am today. They helped me become tremendously successful by all rights, and have given me the opportunity to be able to help so many other people with the lessons that I've learned. And I say there is no shame whatsoever in prioritizing your mental health. There is no shame in learning how to say no to people. There's no shame in setting boundaries, healthy boundaries for you and yourself. And if people don't respect those boundaries, cut them out, right? Anyone who, when you articulate to them, listen, I'm just not emotionally feeling up to doing such and such, and I would like to do this instead. And they don't accept that answer, right? Ask yourself why. And this is going to go into the next piece of this video, and I'm going to try to be quick. I don't want to take too long, right? When you get angry about something, when you feel a certain way about something, seek to understand you and your heart. Seek to understand yourself. Why did I respond this way? Right? I had a partner of mine a long time ago, another romantic relationship, that she was a medical doctor. She was highly accomplished. And whenever people would see me with her, they always used to tell me, oh, you're so lucky. You're this, you're that, right? And as you heard in my voice, I took offense to this because it was perceived as if they were saying I wasn't good enough to have such a beautiful, successful woman who wanted me as a romantic partner. And it just felt so negative, right? But why? They weren't saying it in the context of you're garbage. Why does that woman want you? And I had to stop and really ask myself, why was it that I felt that way, right? Why did I think that that was an insult rather than a compliment? And the fact that what they're saying is my partner is amazing on the surface, and I should be so happy that in all the people in the world and all the opportunities that are present, that one special opportunity put me with this person, right? Understand and ask yourself those critical questions. Anytime you feel happy about something, ask, what about that made me feel happy? Anytime you feel sad or any sort of emotion, seek to understand what it is about that stimulus that caused you to feel the way you did. And in understanding those things, it helps you get to the bottom of, why do I really do the things I do, right? What really drives me? What are my real values? What really affects my heart and my health, right? I say this as emphatically as I can to anyone listening. Your mental health matters. You matter. Take the time to understand you, understand your heart, so that you can be the best version of yourself that you want to be. So that you can be the best version of yourself to offer the best version of you to those around you. Everyone has their own unique and special gifts that they can share with the world. Find what yours are and nurture them. That's all I have for today. Please remember, there are a lot of different mental health resources out there. There's a lot of different 1-800 numbers that you can call if you're feeling down or depressed. There's a YouTube channel that I've been soliciting out to a lot of my different buddies over the last couple of years with regards to depression and attachment style issues, right? And that is Psych2Go. They're a little bit cutesy as far as their delivery style, but Psych2Go is a wonderful free resource that you can use to gain insights to yourself. I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you.